When elections are held in the United States and possibly in your country, the major issue is almost always the economy. And by the economy, people mean jobs. Why is this so important? Because jobs represent security. They represent survival. They represent the mortgage for the house, payment for the car, tuition for the children, food, gas for the car, insurance, everything needed to survive at the physical level the job represents. And so people want jobs. The thought of being fired is a terrifying thought. The thought of being removed from a church is not quite as terrifying. The thought of losing a job is a terrifying prospect. Why? Because survival is on the line, and the greatest urge of any human being is the urge to survive, both by eating to survive individually and by reproduction to keep the race going. Having said that, it is no surprise then that of the 10 commandments, God has chosen the one which potentially threatens our survival. He has chosen that one as the sign of loyalty to Him. And that commandment is the fourth. How does it threaten a person's survival? Well, we're not supposed to work on that day. Which means if someone is convicted that the seventh day is the Sabbath, and he or she feels an urge to observe that day in obedience to God, he or she may have to give up the job. Or he or she may have to give up the particular educational degree that he or she was pursuing, because degrees also represent a certain degree of security. That's why many students compromise divine principles in order to get their degrees. My listening friend, what I'm saying is this: when you decide to keep the Sabbath, you may be threatening your own survival in order to obey God. But is not this the way salvation was provided for us? Jesus, He risked His own survival in order to make salvation available to us. So when the thief on the cross said to Him in Luke 23, "Save thyself and us," Jesus could not do that. He could either save Himself and let the world perish, or save us, those who accept Him, and suffer the consequences on the cross, which He did. Survival, my listening friend, is the greatest urge a person can feel. When you decide to obey God and observe the seventh day, you put your survival at risk. And God knows that. But God has made it clear to us, those that honor me, I will honor. 1 Samuel chapter 2, verse 30. I want to reassure you, those of you who have been convicted to observe the seventh-day Sabbath, let God worry about the job issue. Let God worry about the educational degree issue. God knows the end from the beginning. God is all-powerful. God is everything that you and I need in order to survive from day to day. Put that burden on Him, and you assume the burden of obeying Him out of love. And so remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. 6 days shalt thou labor and do all thy work, but the seventh day is the Sabbath of the Lord thy God. In it thou shalt not do any work. Thou shalt not do any work. And therein lies the test for so many people. But again, I urge you, I encourage you, choose to obey God. And let God demonstrate His power in your life, His miracle working power to sustain you as you choose sacrificially to obey Him. My dear friend, may the Lord bless you, give you courage. May the Lord doubly bless your children, and may you live out in your life the words of Revelation chapter 2 verse 10. Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life. Happy Sabbath, and God bless you.